Before the stars in the sky, before the planets, before space itself, there stood two figures. Tetol the mother, who controlled the very fabric of reality, and Yered the father, who stood for the void. And before they knew it, they had 8 children. These children wanted to rule a universe of their own, so Tetol built them one and gave them the option to create life. Hemi crafted the body and nervous systems of the various beings that would dot this universe. The twins, Umal and Kuiru, gave their creations the ability to perceive the passage of time. Didar gave them the ability to be self-powered and not rely solely on external power. Ari made the many planets for these beings to thrive and interact on. Dugara gave them a consciousness, or the ability to think freely. And Ibo gave them a conscience, or the ability to feel and protect. But Tetol gave her most powerful ability to her eldest son, Shragia. And when all was ready and prepared, Shragia gave these beings life. Over the course of millennia, these beings thrive on their respective planets and in their galaxies. But tragically, though the Alket watched over them, war still raged. People still disagreed, and greed held high over their heads, and higher than the Alkets themselves. In his quote-unquote wisdom, Yered believed that the only proper way to take care of this was to destroy them all. When his actions grew too large for the rest of the Alket to ignore, Tetol believed it was time for the Alkets to go home to their own universe. Yered disagreed, and they fought a long battle and war that destroyed their family and destroyed many living beings in the process. But in the end, Yered was defeated and cursed to be a shell of himself and to be forever poisoned. The Alket were still proud of their creations, however, and they wanted to keep at least a little bit of their power in the hands of a select few individuals known as the Champions. These Champions were to watch over the Alket and their only connection to the universe in the form of large crystals known as harbors. The first generation of these Champions created a large community known as the Administration of the Alket. In the large halls of the AA, you will find at least 8 communities filled with at least 200 people, all living in an extremely large building, thriving, and respecting the will of the Alkets in their own various ways. Though tragedy struck most recently when they found themselves at the hands of the IEP. The corrupt government, who rather than respecting the wills of their people, would prefer to spit in the faces of their cultures and rule with an iron fist. In their time of need, an insurgent group known as the Black Eagles came to their rescue and liberated the entirety of the administration. Aqua Church, the leader of the Black Eagles, has been voted to be the head representative of the administration. Now, with the combined knowledge of the administration and the Black Eagles' fighting power, the universe now has its best line of defense against Yered's hunger and the IEP's oppression. Our story, Onyx, Transcendence, begins with the champions of Shragia, Hemi, Ibo, and Dugara following up on various leads. Beginning with the champions Iolite and Loch Twain standing in the foggy halls awaiting to be accepted by the court of the Thessalian people.
And
And
the most important thing you have to know is do not speak. My people do not like land dwellers very much, as you probably realize, as we are in a giant bubble of hydrogen floating in a massive gas giant. So just don't talk. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
we see like a metal bench of sorts sitting in like a foggy hallway outside a big metal door. And we see 2 figures sitting side by side. Go ahead and describe yourselves. What do you look like?
Locke's not sitting. Locke's
Locke.
pacing.
Locke is pacing.
I'm sitting on the floor.
Describe yourselves. What do you guys look like?
Locke is tall, with ashen blue skin, around 6'5", but that's inflated by 2 or so inches because they're floating. The top of their skull to right about just under where their nose should be is gone, and two horns kind of sprout from their cheekbones and move upwards. They're wearing a very simple black form-fitting dress, and with fingerless gloves and 6 wooden rings on 3 of their 6 fingers on both hands.
Okay, and Islet, what do you look like?
Eyelet's about 5'7", 5'8". She's pale. She has brown eyes, and she has peculiar hair where 2 strands next to her head are longer than the rest of her hair, where in the back it's curly, and it's purple. She's wearing kind of like messy and poor attire. Yeah.
Okay, so these two champions of the Alket are having a small conversation as the large metal doors into the courtroom creak open, and you, Islet, you have not met a lot of Lock Twain's people, but this one does look very similar to Lock Twain, wearing a very similar kind of garb, no wooden rings, still the same 6 fingers, but instead of like, I don't know if you describe them like, but your horns are, what are they like?
They look like that of an adex.
An
so they're, I need to get a picture of it, but they're I could best describe them as a lazy spiral up.
Okay.
Straight up, a very loose spiraling horn that goes straight up for about a foot or so high above their head.
Okay. But this Thessalian, his horns specifically look like ram horns. They sort of veer off to the side and do a tight spiral. And it he smiles at Locke very nicely. And he looks at Iolite and like he very snidely gives like a, how you doing? How you guys doing today?
Well, I was wondering, is the council ready to meet?
After much deliberation, yes, they are ready to see you. But word of warning to your mutt, humans are not to speak in the High Court. Just remember that. And this Thessalian floats up a little bit off the ground and gestures for you guys to enter. And in this room, it's really dark, but you see these metal podiums with 3 figures atop them that have this metal spiraling off. It's very similar to the buildings here, very weird and not square cubicle at all, really. It's a lot of winding paths.
A lot of curves.
Lots of curves, just like me.
And very, very sharp. Very sharp looking.
Yeah, you get the feeling that if you were to trip in this place, you'd probably be lacerated.
Flip. Also, gravity here, it's a bit weird. Very fucky. You probably can jump about 3 times higher than you normally would be able to.
Can I jump around?
Yeah, you jump like you said like Luck said, about three times as high than normal, which is not very much for you because you're not super athletic. But yeah, you definitely jump like 3 times as high. And you see the one who led you in. He goes, "Stop it, stop."
Okay.
And the one steps on this sort of like circle platform that's about a foot up. It's for people to stand on to make their case. And he addresses the 3 masters, Mashatox, Vashik, and Kaylee. We are here to discuss the issues of Lock Twain letting in human Iolite of House Nevermore into this so-called brain. Uh, please, Lock Twain, make your case to the High Council. And you see
Hey.
Sorry, let me describe them first. These three figures, they have very, like, all of the horns look very similar to what everyone else's is made out of. One has deer horns on the end, that is Kaylee. The one in the middle, I think I messed it up, Makatox, has one large rhino horn, and Vashik has about 3 horns that kind of look like they're slicked back, but obviously they're horns. And Makatox looks over and says, Lock Twain, it's good to see you again. Make your case.
I am aware that the Bastille courts don't really understand the way the bureaucracy works. Hell, I was sent to discover and make arrangements with them. And you see, these brains that I and my partner have discovered and worked on with the help of Thessalian technology, combined with the bureaucracy's technology, created this sort of psychic computer, allowing massive amounts of data and computing to happen all at once in an instant. Actually used sacred objects to this bureaucracy. One that I had to give to this human in order to save not only my life, but the lives of several thousand others. And my case is simple. I need them. These people, we need them. The threat that the enemies of the bureaucracy pose to the bureaucracy itself is much too great for it to handle, and we are but one planet, one species. Yes, we are strong in our own rights, but there's nothing stopping these people. The bureaucracy can.
Now
Case rests.
this is a heavy question, and it will be quite, sorry, I'm not used to human tongue. It will be worrisome, to say the least, to have this human, who, their species, mind you, has not been so kind to the eldritch beings that we are. These humans are often not to be trusted, and yet you invite them into our home and into a large computer-type device capable of holding lots of information from not only our species, but from the humans themselves, and you wish to put the trust of this and this responsibility into this mutt. Is that correct?
This mutt you speak so degradingly of saved my life several times. Saved the life of my partner several times. Saved the lives of thousands of beings that, even if they are not us, still deserve some sort of recognition. You see, I've learned a lot. And one of the things I've learned is that, like us, every single human you meet is different. Yes, They can be selfish. They can be prideful. They can be horrible. Horrible people. But can't we? What makes us so different from them?
Hmm.
Our isolation. Hold on one second.
So far, so good.
Uh,
Also, I like you. You can speak if you want. I just
No,
okay.
I was told not to.
Okay.
Remember,
Go on.
Our people, and I ask for mercy, Court, as I say this, are stagnating.
Hmm.
We sit here in our Illyrium towers, floating aimlessly in bubbles of hydrogen we've created, because we are scared of what the stars hold.
Hmm.
Yes, hundreds of thousands of years ago, our home planet was taken from us by the very planet we live on right now. Yes, we live on the Conqueror in fear. But the thing I've learned, these people
Hmm.
know how to conquer fear, know how to live with it, not in it, outside of it, around it. Put it in a cage, not too much like the gilded one we put ourselves. That is why I trust these people.
You see the court member Vashik uh, tilt his head. You speak so highly of these individuals, and yet, how are we to trust that you have not been brainwashed by your alleged husband, Oscar Holm?
Do you know this, Basha?
What was
Not
that?
the political intrigue love, the ones that you all make for convenience sake, the one that I came from, the one that we all came from. I'm talking about mutual trust, respect, and communication. Because that's what I have. That's why I wear these rings.
Well,
And if you truly think I've been brainwashed, then why don't I show you what I've seen, what I've witnessed, the acceptance of this bureaucracy that you three approved my
yes.
position in. And look at me now, risen to be one of the heroes of this bureaucracy.
Hmm.
Even then, these sprain, this have taken and bastardized a storage facility. Is a sacred object to these people. And if there's, I've learned many things. One of them is what I bring you to another, and another, and countless others. Among them is that humans respect their icons, their beliefs. They put so much stock in them that they are willing to throw themselves into the hands of things they can't see or prove.
Hmm.
Not blindly, but with faith.
Mackie, I quite like them. Just give them what they want. And the main one at the forefront goes, yes. You make a good case. And even I cannot do that from time to time. So,
You're the one who trains me.
well, I'll make your parents proud just as you should. So, it is my final ruling, as is the rest of the courts, that you too, shall be able to enter and take whatever information and items you see fit. A word of warning, Locktoy. Though you speak so highly of these humans, I must warn you that if you or this human are to tamper with any of the information that has been so given to you by our people, you will face the dire consequences. And that is a fate not even your speeches and your parents will be able to save you from.
If I do that, then I deserve whatever comes.
Mm. Dismissed. And the three figures, they float back away into a dark entrance or exit that you can't really see. And the first one that you guys met gestures for you to leave, and you will be escorted by. As you guys exit the door, you see right in front of you, as if they teleported. You see Vashik, the one of the court members. It was in our best interest, Lock Twain, that you may have somebody to come with you. And just make sure that nothing happens. The rules in these halls are a bit different, human. And they begin walking and leading you guys towards the room with the brain. And they say, the rules are a bit different in these hallways, human. You may speak however you please.
Oh.
And I am just so curious with human interactions. Where do you come from?
You know,
I was
around.
going to explain our really productive ways on the flight home.
Ah,
Don't try and drill her too much. They're quite different from ours.
fair enough.
They don't have brood chambers. It's very strange.
Not a single brood chamber.
Not one. And there's definitely no liquid mercury involved either.
Oh, what a
Fascinating.
strange barbaric culture.
I wouldn't say barbaric.
Intriguing.
Strange. Yeah, thank you.
And they take you to the facility that you've come to know Lock Twain very well as the entrance to the brain. And you guys enter in, and Vashik nods and goes, "Best of luck to you." And the door closes. So since this is a creation made by Locke and Oscar, I think you could go ahead and describe what does the inside of the brain's room look like.
It's a massive spherical room. It's strange because there's no edges, no nothing. It's just a slope down to a long glass tube sitting in the center with a it's supposed to be orange crystal, I believe, right? Floating
Yes, orange.
suspended in the tube, and a series of monitors and strange esoteric keyboards, both floating around the sphere and connected directly to the glass tube in the center.
Wow.
Why is it that I'm always the one that has to talk down the dogmatic idiots?
I don't know.
So,
Right.
I know you
Get back
describe.
to a job.
I know you described the orange crystal, but where is the yellow crystal that is the other half of Iolite's harbor, which she takes out of her pocket? And we see it's a very thick crystal. It's almost like holding like a piece of like I don't know. It's like
How
about
many C's on this thick?
I think it's gonna be a solid 3 C's thick. It's
Okay.
about as thick as like I want to say like a big water bottle.
Mhm.
And where is the other half located, or supposed to be located?
The other half would be uh, the core of the computer, so it would be kind of tucked into a kind of like a setting on a ring
Okay.
with the tangs going up and connecting to it.
So normally, that is where this would be located, but right now, all you see is an empty hole, and where the Dugara's harbor once stood, all you see is this strange floating orange essence, but no crystal. Not
That's strange.
not one.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Well, I got a feeling, however, it could be the Viper.
There's no way.
No, he knows. Remember?
These computers are too esoteric for even you to understand. You're a goddamn champion. Locke presses some commands and the glass tube splits open,
And again,
allowing for full access to the insides of it.
you see this orange floating essence. It's kind of hard to describe. It's sort of constantly shifting.
Kind of like the Northern Lights.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
More condensed.
Yeah.
Locke would float up to it and just look at it.
You see, it gives you a feeling, but you can't describe the feeling. It just feels like there's a lot of voices in your head, but you can't hear any of them. What do you do?
I touch it.
Locke, you stick your hands into this essence, and in a flash, you are in a completely different place, looking around at completely different materials. This is in this room, it's a very militaristic, like boot camp kind of barracks kind of situation. And when you look down, you're not moving your arms. And as a matter of fact, these arms aren't even yours. These are human arms that are moving and tying like these military boots, and just ties them in a knot, and hear like cracking, like they're popping their neck.
Oh my god, I thought we switched bodies.
No.
That'd be cool.
And speaking of Iolite, you see Locke just floating, just in midair with their hand, just chilling in this essence.
I'm going to go look at him.
You look at them and you see their horns slowly creeping up a deep orange color and changing from I think you said the ashen blue sort of color, and it's just sort of creeping slowly up the horns.
The horns are pitch black.
So they're switching from this pitch black to this deep orange.
Dude, I want to touch the thing.
Nothing happens to
Things suspended 20 feet in the air.
Well, I can jump. Remember?
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Can't be. You can't stay there.
yeah.
I got hops.
So yeah, you jump up with like the low gravity, and you just kind of touch it. Nothing happens.
How peculiar.
Locke, you are in this human body, and it just sort of goes throughout its day, wearing this just like T-shirt of your husband's brother. He's a music maker. He's very popular, and he's wearing that shirt, and he's just wearing jeans. And this person is walking around, and you're looking around with this person, in this military.
I remove my hand.
Oh, you can't. You cannot move. You are just watching this person's day.
I'm gonna push him away from the thing.
Okay, give me a physique roll. First roll of the day. How the roles in this game work?
Actually, I got an idea. I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna grab his feet and I'm gonna drag him down.
Okay. So go ahead and use your physique still. But the way this works is a 6 minus
Partial.
is a failure. Um,
I got an 8.
a 7 to 8 is a partial success. And a 7 to 9 is a partial success, and then a 10 plus is a full success. I got an 8. So what happens is you do grab their legs, and you pull them down. You do exactly what you wanted to do, but they're still in this catatonic state. And Locke, you
Can I try communicating with this body I'm looking at?
what do you normally roll to communicate?
I normally don't have to roll anything, but I
Uh,
roll interface to.
I'd say give
Roll.
give us an interface roll because you are trying to probe this brain and get it to interact with you.
That's a 9.
So as this person is going about its day, it's like eating breakfast, and as you try, it stops for a moment and just sort of looks around, and there's nobody around it. It just sort of shrugs and continues to go about his day. What feels like 8 hours you spend with this person just doing their day to day. You don't see anybody else in this large facility that seems to just be some sort of military, like barracks training ground with nobody in it.
Does it look lived in?
It looks lived in by this guy, and that's it.
Huh.
And you finally get to the end of the day. It's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., and they go to their room, which is a very small room. You see, again, another poster of that same music artist just chilling. And you see a mirror, and you see a door to a bathroom. But the person walks up to the mirror very slowly, as if kind of expecting you to see what you're about to see. And you see a curly-haired, tall, chiseled man, very pale skin, looking directly into the mirror. But what's extremely strange is that they have white irises, than like a regular pupil, but the whites are basically flip-flopped with the iris. So the iris is white, but where the whites normally would be is completely black. And the person just stares into the mirror for a second and raises an eyebrow. And it goes, "Hello?"
Crazy.
"Who are you?"
I ask you the same.
I asked first.
It's a fair call. They call me Locke.
Locke. I don't have a lot of human interaction, as you see, Locke. So what are you doing in my head?
Do you want the real answer? Scare you?
I think any answer you give me is gonna scare me pretty bad.
It's fair. I touched a orange thing of energy and can't move, and now I'm looking through your eyes. It's strange, I don't normally look through eyes. New experience.
How do you do this? How do you enter the brain?
Yours, particularly, or any?
Any?
I focus. And sometimes I need to be a battering ram. Other times,
And he tilts his head. It just cuts you off and says, "Maybe I should focus." And he gives a kind of eerie smile as you see the black part of his eyes switch to orange. And you are expelled from his mind, and you wake up, and well, I guess you wouldn't really see Iolite, but you know that you're laying on the ground and Iolite's kind of staring down at you, not really knowing what to do.
That was unpleasant.
What was that?
A man who didn't tell me his name. And he apparently can do what I do.
That's cool.
It's not. You know what I do.
That's not cool. Well, is he good or is he bad?
His eyes were black.
You do know that before you were expelled, they did switch, the black part switched to orange.
I know.
Okay. So I think that that is the end of your interaction, Locke.
I was gonna touch it.
Well, it kind of went away as you dragged Locke down.
I'm gonna cry.
And that's the end of that interaction. Next up, I think Unikite. It's
Can you give me just a second first?
Sure. While we're waiting, I'm going to pause the recording and use the bathroom. So it is a fine day here on the planet of Quartzine. The gray huts that dot this pink landscape are being moved out of to a new facility. There's a lot of movement going on. You see Milo is sort of taking not watch, but he's taking control of the situation, just kind of helping people out, showing them where to go, loading it onto this big ship that the administration, by the way, Locke, I did switch it. So that is they are moving to that facility, and they're loading all of their cargo onto this big cargo freighter, and Milo is sort of heading out the operation. And Unikite, you came to help out as well to move this stuff, and I think you're currently hauling a big old crate onto the ship. When you see Milo walk up, do I want to do a voice for Milo?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's gonna have to make up for the lack of mine.
Okay, what kind of voice
Scooby-Doo?
should I give him?
Shaggy.
Shaggy, but a
No.
little bit, but toned down.
So Milo walks up, and you see his familiar, very tall, lanky figure with his very long, curly blonde hair pulled up into a messy bun on top of his head.
Dude, Cowabunga.
And he just sort of stretches and goes,
Make him a surfer.
"It's a long day today." So, did you get everything you needed to move?
I think so.
So I found these, and he pulls out a set of, I guess they're not really keys like a car. They're a little different, but it's sort of the same kind of situation. And he goes, "There's a note on it. It says Unikite. So
Oh.
I think this is for you. I don't know where the ship is at, but luckily with these sort of older type key style ship transmissions, there is a locator, so you'll be able to click this little rectangle right here, and that'll take you right to the ship. Hopefully, just follow the green dots, man."
Okay.
Surf's up.
Have you been smoking anything recently?
I am not at liability to tell you if I have, because that would break protocol.
Okay.
So,
Unikite grabs the keys.
and he gives you sort of like a hearty, he wraps his arm around you and gives you a shake. "Good luck with your new ship, man. Do you want us to wait for you, or would you rather just take off whenever you get there?"
You should probably wait. I don't really know how to fly.
Time's ticking, man. You know that Aqua's gonna be pissed if we don't get back in time. This is a lot of cargo, so just you know what I'm
Alright,
saying.
then you can just go.
No. We'll wait for you. It's cool.
Okay.
And he gets back into the ship, and he gets it started, gets it running. and you use this locator to get the direction. It's about north. It's you can't get a precise distance, but it's northeast of you. You begin walking outside of the bounds of this little town that you guys were originally holed up in, and you begin walking to this vast pink, like sakura type tree, like orchard, um, and this ship is taking you to a small clearing in the middle of it, and you see what at first is like nothing, but then you see this little like oval shaped object on the ground.
I'm gonna pick it up.
So you bend down to touch it, and you see just like it's sort of like it's like made of scales almost, and they flap out, and they just get larger and larger and larger, and like you sort of close your eyes for a moment as best as a robot can, and in a moment you're in this rather large interior of a ship filled out very well with these amenities that you would see on a ship for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Okay.
And standing right in front of you is a face that you have not seen for a long time. It is Al, who is Iolite's boyfriend's brother, Aesop. And he's dressed in a very nice suit, and you see his orange hologram projector going off. He goes, and his eyes are closed for a moment. He goes, "My name is Aesop." Wait, no, that's the wrong voice. "My name is Aesop, the artificially intelligent starship operating protocol." And he opens his eyes and he looks at you and he goes, "Dear God. Hello, Unikite.
How long have you been here?
How long have you guys been with the Black Eagles?"
I don't even remember. It's been a long time.
"Like 3 years?"
Probably.
"Like 3 years. So I guess I'll take you on the tour if you like."
Sure.
And he sort of gestures to one of the rooms. He goes, "This is the weapon operating room. There are plenty of pods where you can enter into the various weapon systems. So there's that room. Why am I doing this? You've been in this ship, right?
Yeah.
This is Laku's ship, right?"
Yeah.
"Yeah, you've been in here.
Why are
So-
you like what? Why are you still here?
Once my brothers and sisters separated from me, I really didn't have anywhere to go because they were off doing their own jobs, getting their degrees, psychology.
I mean, we could always have found a place for you.
I just felt more at home here." And he leads you to the cockpit of the ship. And he goes, "So as you can clearly see," and he presses a button with a robot arm that extends out of the wall, and goes, and you see this windshield that was at first opaque. It's very like translucent, and it almost looks like there's no window at all. But with the slight glare of the sun, you see there is like a windshield, and it's very big. And he goes,
There's a what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's a big windshield. You can see outside now.
Okay.
And this lights up the entirety of the ship, and it is a very familiar place for you because you spent a couple of months here when Laku was still alive, adventuring around with him and the rest of the group before you met Locke and Buck. And you notice on the... Did I say cock?
You said cockpit.
Oh my god. So on the main pilot's chair, you see this. You see a purple scarf wrapped around it, and you see a small microchip with a tape on it, and it says for Unikite.
Has this been here the entire time you've been on the ship?
Well, I mean, it's sort of collapsible, so I mean, maybe.
Okay. Unikite picks it up.
And you see there is a little projector that you could insert it into and watch whatever is on the microchip.
Alright, I'll do that.
You enter it in, and you see a message pop up that says, I'm not going to give specific dates because this is sort of a timeless setting, but it gives the date that the original Black Eagles base camp, the large temple, was destroyed. And it's the exact day.
Okay.
And it flashes up, and you see a very familiar face. You see Laku, in this sort of like you know when your grandparents FaceTime you and they're like right up on it? It's kind of like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But he backs up for a second. And he goes, today's date is, because I'm not giving specific dates. And today, I'm finally going to become a Black Eagle. After the training, after the many tests, I'm ready to get out there. Aqua has been very kind in teaching me the various ways of hand-to-hand combat. Opalescence showed me how to shoot a rifle like a couple weeks ago. That was badass. Yeah, I'm so ready. I made a lot of new friends. Met Iolite. She's a sweetheart. She's very kind, and she takes care of all the AI on the ship because there's like 8 of them now because the one split up or something. Opalescence and her brother Obsidian, they're super cool. They're kind of badass, actually. They kicked my ass a couple of times. It's kind of fucked up, actually, because they double teamed me. That was messed up. Oh, and of course, obviously, shout out Unikite, teaching me how to be like the best medical professional that I can on the battlefield. So that's always great. And I taught him a little bit about piloting. So, Malcolm, I wanted to tell you that if we ever meet again, or I find you, I want you to know I forgive you for leaving so soon. And I just miss what we had. But if there's one thing that I would want somebody to do, it would be to find you and bring you home to me. I would pay whatever price, go any distance, just to see you again. So if you somewhere are watching this and you get the inkling to come home, please. This is Laku Dayron, and he stands up and he gives like a big salute. This is Laku Dayron signing up, and you hear a large explosion in the background. Aesop, heads up, let's go. And the recording shuts off.
I think I know what I have to do, I guess. I'm gonna go find Malcolm, so that's exciting.
Are you saying that out loud, like in character?
Yeah.
I didn't know he recorded that.
Well, I didn't either.
Looks like you and me have a mission.
Looks like it.
And that is the end of that interaction. So who would like to go next? We've got Buck and Cash, who haven't gone yet.
I can go.
Okay. So,
Catch.
I think there's a camera kind of thing that sort of zooms out from this scenario and jets off a couple of light years away. Uh, and we get to this large asteroid. And standing on this asteroid is a large tower that says the Velvet Casino in bright lights. And we see like dozens of people pouring in and out of the main entrances. And the camera sweeps in and interweaves through all of these people. We see a couple of different rooms. We see the dance room, we see the relaxing room, and we see the VIP room. Now, these are all separate entrances. And we enter into the main party room. And we see that this large tower descends deep within this asteroid. And we see many different card games, tables where people are drinking. Card tables, craps, roulette, whatever. We see it all, and they're all floating on these golden pods that float in and out of holes lining this tower. And the shot goes up to the very most top, and we see a poker table, very high stakes poker table. We see a couple of individuals. We see some grimy looking cowboy types. We also see this card dealer who's robotic, and he's sort of dealing the cards out individually and handling the chips, which are made of holograms. And sitting at the end of the table, we see a synthetic human, which is a human that looks an individual that looks very, very close to what a human might look like. But in her, like, we can see her dress is halfway covering up this tank, which, as we can see, a little heart inside, like an actual human heart, peeks out of the top, and she has golden hair and bright green eyes that's tied up in a tight ponytail behind her. She's wearing a very ornate red dress, and behind her we see a tall figure sort of watching over the table. Cash, describe your character. Please describe your character.
Alright, he's about 6 feet tall. He's definitely scruffy. Think of like Clint Eastwood or like those old Western movies. He has a beard, but it's just the chops and a twirly mustache. He's dirty blonde, but he usually wears a hat. He has a 6-shooter on his right side. His right arm is a like cyborg type thing, and his eye is also an enhancement, but only slightly. When you see the red gleam in his eye is when you can notice that it's like a synthetic eye.
Okay, so Cash stands over the table and he's just sort of watching, making sure that everybody's in line. And as the poker game goes on for about 15 minutes, we see who Cash has come to know as Amy, just racking up the chips. She's just going ham, and she's doing great. And she has a terrible poker face. Every time she gets good cards, she smiles like a piece of shit. And she just goes, hoo-wee! Send them in, boys. And everybody's getting a little antsy because she's so chipper, but they're all trying to concentrate and be cool. And it's at one of these turns that finally she takes in another pot, and one of the guys stands up and goes, God damn it. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but I'm done playing with these synthetic humans. And he pulls out a pistol, and 3 of the other guys pull out one and goes, you're cheating, and I know it.
Whoa. Let's all just calm down here.
And they look at you and they go, no, that ain't happening. Not here, not anymore. I'll put a cap in your ass, and I'll put a cap in her ass. And you better cut the shit right now there, cuck, or I'll fucking shoot you.
I'm telling you, you really don't want to do this.
He goes, yes, I do. And quickly, very quickly, actually, the 2 guys, they sort of push you against the side of the golden pod, and they grab Amy, and they just kind of like hold a gun up to her head, and she goes, oh my God, I didn't do anything. And and one of them points the gun at you and goes, Now why don't you make like a good little lapdog and play fetch off the side?
And are they like constraining me?
They're not restraining you. They just sort of pushed you away from her. One of them is holding her, and they have her by the head. Not the head, but like the neck, and they have a gun up to her head.
You said there's how many of them?
3. And the other, there's 2 more people, and they're just kind of like cowering away, and they're not really doing anything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start putting my hand down towards my pistol.
Okay. So they see that, and they go, "You better not, boy. And I'll put you in the ground right now."
Yes.
What do you do?
I am going to. Since I have that cybernetic thing, I can do it really quickly, right?
Yeah, sure. Hold on, let me take a peek at your character sheet. So in order to do this, if you want to do this fast and you want to do this precise, you're gonna roll what's called a metal roll. Just go ahead and click on your character sheet, but I'll see if there's anything that can help you out. Okay. What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
So on a 7 to 9, you choose one or more consequences on a partial success, not the GM. So go ahead and choose. You're going to get these guys, but there is going to be a consequence to you or to Amy.
So I'm gonna get all 3 of them.
I'll say you can get all 3 of them. Definitely you can shoot the guy who's not holding her, but the other 2 are kind of like behind her a little bit. So I think you can definitely injure them, but maybe not kill them. But you do get to choose the consequence, and I do not.
All right. So I'm gonna reach down towards my pistol, but before I do, I'm going to close my left eye and squint my right eye to like mark each one of them, and then I'm gonna reach down and fire.
Okay. So you activate the ricochet bullets, and you spin the chamber, and very quickly you just kind of like pull it out and go bang, 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 and you hit one in the head, and he just goes flying off the edge. You hit another in the arm, and he falls onto the pool table and breaks it. Not the pool table, the poker table. And he breaks it, and the other guy, as he's holding her, he gets shot in the shoulder, but he just sort of lets go of her, and she falls off the edge, and she screams as she's falling down. What do you do?
All right, boys. I told you shouldn't have done that. And then I'm gonna run towards her and help her up.
She has already fallen off the edge. What do you do?
Okay. Wait, or you said we were on like the edge of what was it?
There's these floating pods. You guys are at the very tippy top.
Oh. Okay.
So she's not gonna hit the ground for like a hot second.
Okay.
But she is plummeting towards her doom.
Let me take a look at that. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna run over to the edge
Okay.
and take a look.
Well, she's definitely falling. I will say that your faster skill will give you a second to react, but she's kind of out of your range.
And then if I jump down, obviously I'm as well, right?
Nobody said that.
Shit. All right. Well, I'm gonna run towards the edge, and I'm gonna try to catch her, like jump down.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you can go ahead and roll physique. No, this would be a little bit more of a mental focus roll. So go ahead and roll metal again. And based on your roll, okay. So
Roll a 7.
okay. So what happens is you instinctively you do not have time to grab her. So I'm going to give you the hard choice. You can either stay on the pod and not put yourself in harm's way, or you could jump after her.
I am going to jump after her.
Okay, so instinctively, these people are just kind of like, but they see you just as calm as can be. You just run towards the edge and you just vault over it, and they're just like, "Oh my god!" And you do like what the skydivers do, and you sort of like make yourself as compact as you can, and you begin falling faster than she is, and she's like sort of flipping wildly in the air. And you do grab her, but you have a hold of her, and she's just like, "We're gonna die. We're gonna die." What do you do? You do see that there's lots of floating pods around you. What do you do?
All right, calm down. We're not gonna die. And then I'm gonna reach for another pod and see if I can catch on to one.
Okay, so go ahead and roll metal again.
Level 12.
Okay, so you do see there's one that's like a little under you, and you maneuver your body around, and you guys sort of like move over, and you just go BAM onto the bottom of this, on top of this like, I'm gonna say craps. You just land on top of like the dice and the chips and whatever. And you just sort of like crack that too, and standing right above you, you see the dealer, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm trying to not die.
Well, Cash, I don't think that's gonna be the easiest way to not die, jumping off of pods and stuff. And they help you both up. You see a couple of them. These are kind of like your homies. You see them a lot. You see sitting at the end of the table, you see your boss, a large, dark-skinned man, and his bottom jaw is made of this blue metal that extends down his tuxedo. And he just goes, "Oh. Jumping off pods today, are we, Cash?"
Yeah, it's not how I was expecting this night to go.
And he stands up and he walks over to Amy, who's just kind of like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" And he wraps his arms around her and pulls her into a tight hug and just sort of squeezes and goes, "You're okay, you're okay." So where'd they go?
Well, I shot all three of them. They were still up there. I don't know if they're all dead, but I just jumped straight after hers.
Well, that would explain the body that fell off of there a couple minutes ago.
Yep.
So anyway, this is a direct attack against us, Cash. Again.
I'll definitely say so.
We need to go legit. We need something.
Right, what do you have in mind?
And he sort of sits everybody down, and they continue playing their game. And he's just sort of talking over them. He goes, "I think it's time to invest in your home world. The Moon Anubis is hosting what's called the Technicolor Odyssey, which is a race through the cosmos. But in order to do this, we need a team of 6. And I can't spare any men at the moment, because if I do that, we'll be stretching our resources a little too thin. Now, we're not super legit, you understand, Cash. But we are more legit than this group I've been seeing in the sector net. Tell me, what do you know about the Black Eagles, Cash?"
Not much other than they're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah, I heard something like that too. But I hear they have these superhumans.
That's bullshit if you ask me.
Now, I've seen a lot in my time, Cash, and if it's true, then we need them on our side. I want you and Star to go to this administration building, and I want you to make your way in, and I want you to find these humans, and I want you to bring them here, because in 2 months we're going to be hosting the sponsor event for this Technicolor Odyssey.
Well, whatever you say goes. Consider it done.
Amazing. And he stands up and he shakes your hand and nods, and he goes, "Let's play some broken craps." And the night goes on, and you guys have a generally uneventful game night, because you've been in this casino so many times that you know it like the back of your hand at this point. But what does worry you is going home to your home planet of Anubis, which is sort of like a dusty wasteland kind of place with like little saloon towns all around. So that does worry you, but at this point, you're willing to do anything for Jaws. And that ends that interaction. Okay. So, a couple of weeks before any of the interactions that have happened tonight, Buck was doing his last patrol for the community of Ibo, making sure that all the children were safe, making sure that Princess Mercury got some sleep for once, and made sure that none of the books in the vast library of Ibo's collection have been tampered with, and he put them right in the back place. It's about 2 a.m. on this planet, which would be Earth 4, the snowy planet that houses the administration building, which houses the 10 different communities, each assigned to a certain Alket. And like I said, you just exited the administration's community for Ibo. You see a couple of your fellow protectors teaching some new Black Eagle soldiers how to do the patrols as well, and they sort of give you a nod as you walk by and head towards wherever it is that you are going tonight. For whatever reason tonight, you decide to go up to the second floor of the bureaucracy, which houses the Hall of the Champions, that houses the Awakening Room, which you recently used whenever the IUP decided to attack the administration directly. You walk by, you see all of the burns, gunshots that happened here. For whatever reason, you decide to take a peek at the inside of the Hall of Champions. You see the many different generations of champions, all beautifully built by the many different artists that reside within the administration. And you do see the most recent one, which does have now all of the people who have been discovered to be champions. You yourself, Buck. You see Iolite, you see Locke, you see Unikite, you see Park Do-yoon, who is the champion of Didar. You see Dr. Praxis has been very reluctantly put on there because he allegedly was one of the people that had attacked the administration when this all went down. And you also see, again, reluctantly painted, you see one of the other champions that I think you might have the most disdain for, which would be Eli Callahan, the main general in charge of the IEP, who for some reason was chosen to be the champion of Tetol. And tonight, you have seen this place a million times. But for the longest time, you have not seen the old head representative, Adam. You've never seen his office lit at this time. It's been a long time since Adam's passing. It's been about a year since the attack itself happened. But you do see that there is a light on. You would assume it's Aqua because she has recently taken over as the head administrator for the head representative for the administration. And you know what? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to go in there on your own accord?
Not particularly.
Okay. So you just sort of do a little side glance, but ignore it because it is a building that has lots of activity going on, so you're not super familiar with it. And you hear the sound of glass shattering coming from inside as you walk by. What do you do?
Now is when I enter.
So you quickly make your way over from the middle of the hallway into through this wooden door, and you see it looks quite well kept up with. You see that all of the scattered papers from the attack have been sorted and filed again. But you do see a dull teal glow coming from a large cryostasis pod at the end of the room, and you see Adam, who has, for whatever reason or another, you can't say he passed away per se, but he is not responding to anything. He's in sort of a catatonic state, and he is floating just limply in this fluid that makes up the cryostasis pod. And as you walk in, you notice his daughter, Aqua, sitting in front, and you do see a large bottle of alcohol has been thrown against the wall, and that is the glass shattering you heard, and you just see her sort of rubbing her eyes, holding this glass of alcohol, and just mumbling to herself. What do you do?
Everything all right in there?
Yeah. And she spins around in the swivel chair and goes, no. No. It is... Things are not alright. But you have a duty. You can step out whenever you like. And she just sort of awkwardly shuffles around some papers.
Oh, okay.
You can leave. Unless you have anything to report, any activity.
No activity.
Hmm.
Be careful in here. And then I will leave.
Wait. Buck.
Hmm?
Do you know... Who would I talk to in this facility about stepping out? Stepping down from my post?
I would have no idea. I would bring it up with Princess Mercury, if anyone.
Princess Mercury.
She's more knowledgeable about this place than I am. I simply guard.
That's fair enough. Can I confide something in you?
I suppose.
So you know of the situation with my dad. You knew him before he was attacked, right?
We have spoken before.
Did he at any point seem distracted or sort of, I don't know, did he seem weird?
He's always seemed a little lost in thought. But he remains focused. Well, he remained focused.
Yes, and she swivels around a little bit. Remained. I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think I can lead this army and this administration into the bright future I promised. And I just want to know, do you think this place would be okay? My soldiers, my friends?
Well, I do personally guard this area,
Yes.
but your task is a heavy one. You have chosen to be a leader of a military force.
Right. Is it cowardly to want to leave?
Cowardice? Yes. But sometimes cowardice is not the incorrect choice.
Yeah. You know, before before all of this, before I was the leader of this group, I once lived here, and it's strange to think that in 20 years, this office has never really changed. Before I turned about 18, I had a fight. And I had a fight with my father. He wanted to kick one of the most important people in my life out of my life, and I told him I wished he was dead. And now what am I supposed to be angry with myself? Am I supposed to be angry with him? I just wish I could have seen him during the attack. I wish I could have been. There's a lot that I wish. But right now, she stands up and stretches a little bit and puts the drink down, and she says, I need to find my sister. She needs to know. And I'm going to take Opalescence and Obsidian with me. They're the only family I have. But I don't want anybody to worry. So she walks up to you, and you're about like 6 inches taller than her, and you see her bright white hair that contrasts with her dark skin tone and bright blue eyes. And she says, I wouldn't want to leave this place without a leader. So I'm offering the job to you.
I see.
You have vast military knowledge, and you know this place like the back of your hand. So I don't know anybody else to ask. I could ask Locke, but Locke has so much on their shoulders. But I think you could handle it. So, do you want to run an army?
I am more of a soldier than I am a commander. But if this is the task I'm given, I will do my best.
She takes a deep breath. It says, I won't be gone forever. This much I know. Hopefully I'll be back with my sister. But for now I need to get out of here. But here's this, and she hands you a small communicator. It goes, it's a burner. If at any point you need me, or Opalescence, or Obsidian, you tell me.
Understood.
Thank you. And she walks back over to the cryostasis pod, and you see that she's already packed up a couple of things in the corner right beside it. And she places her head on it, and she says a small prayer to whoever she would pray to. You see tears run down her eyes, and she clenches her fists, and she just punches it. And a large spiderweb crack that doesn't shatter it, and no liquid leaks out. But there's just a large spiderweb crack on this stasis pod. And she grabs her things, walks past you, nods, and that was the last you ever saw of Aqua Church for about 6 months. Or Opalescence, or Obsidian. And that's the end of that interaction. So, who would like to go next? Unikite? You want to do
Yeah,
your...
we can do that one.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Titillating.
So, at some point in time, doesn't matter when,
Right.
probably after Unikite gets that message.
That message?
The one that he found, the video.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you sent him a message. I was like, what?
No,
No.
Locke would find him
Okay.
and go.
To do your
Yeah,
next
yeah.
entry.
What'd you say?
Okay. Before that, this interaction is going to be cathartic, to say the least. Unikite has chosen to speak to his son. You see, Unikite in his past life was a man named Richie Campbell. Richie Campbell was a well-renowned combat medic, as well as the past generation's champion. He had a wife, and at some point they had a son. This son has gone on to do great things. Unikite, you know that he is a firefighter for his local department. Him and his wife are divorced, but they have joint custody over their son. And Jeremiah Campbell has decided to send you a text this Tuesday, and says, hey, we need to talk. That's what it says.
Okay.
And
I guess
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess I'd go talk to him.
Okay. In the next few hours, you have escorted yourself on your newly acquired ship to meet your son for the first time in about a year. So you walk up to this large, just like straight up like suburban house. There's the amenities are pretty similar to what we see nowadays, just more advanced. The cars are normal cars, but they're like, they're about down the line of what you would think. Better fuel source, all of that.
Future car.
Pretty much. So you walk up and you ring the doorbell, and it's like one of those sky bells. So like you lean over and they see your smiling metallic face. I don't know if we made you describe yourself. So
You
go ahead.
did not.
Go ahead and describe yourself for us.
Unikite is, he's a robot, basically, but, he's, I don't have the image because I describe it from that, so I'm just gonna go from memory. Unikite kind of has, like, a metal skull-like face, but there's, like, not teeth or anything, it's just, like, the general shape, as well as a, like, glass dome in the back, which holds his, it's a human brain, and it's floating in, like, a blue liquid, and he has like blue highlights, glowing highlights all over his body. With his right arm and leg are like, they're basically like scrap versions of the rest. So basically, it's like he took damage and then he replaced with what he could, and that's about it.
Okay, so, yep, Unikite leans in this metallic skull face, leans in, and, you hear the doorbell go, who is, oh, shit, alright, hold on, I'll be right out. And you hear somebody running down the steps. Not running, but sort of just like fast walking. And he opens up the door for like a crack, and he like pokes his head out. He looks over. Come on, let's go. Come on.
All right.
So
You gotta open the door all the way.
oh yeah, of course. And he opens it a little bit more. And he brings you into this. This is a really nice house. There's a really good feng shui going on. You see a couple of house plants. You see like some in the living room. You see like a large TV that's sort of already in the wall. And you see some kids' toys scattered around the ground. All right. So listen, I sent Rice to see his mother today because somebody came by the house, knocked on the door, said that they were Richie Campbell.
They said they were Richie Campbell.
Yeah, he was a tall motherfucker. He had like this purple coat and like this fucking stupid ass fucking cowboy hat and like a big old bushy orange hair and mustache, kind of like mine, but I don't have a mustache because fuck mustache, it makes you look like a pedo. But yeah, he came by the house and he said that you were that he was Richie Campbell, and I basically said, "Fuck off and die. My dad's dead." But we know that
I think I know who that is.
this weird situation is like, you know what I'm saying? Like what the hell am I supposed to do with that? When there's already this fucking robot dude saying that he's Richie Campbell. You know what I'm like?
I understand. I get it. I think I know who you're talking about. That's not a description you forget.
So, who is this guy? Why is he? What does he want from me? Why would he say that?
Nothing good.
Oh.
He was. The Black Eagles were attacked at one point, and he was there.
The Black. Oh, that's your group.
Yeah, that's my group. Sorry.
All right.
I forget you don't know all of this stuff.
Yeah, trust me. If Rice ever said anything about the Black Eagles, I would take us to Earth 1, and we'd totally forget about all this, and he wouldn't know any of you, because I'm not putting his life in danger.
You should definitely stay away from us. That would just get you in trouble.
I need information so that I can tell the police that there's this guy stalking my family, and he needs to go the hell away. So, like, what's his deal? What's going on?
From what I know, he's a hired gun. I don't know a ton about his deal or what he does. I know his name is Calloway. Campbell.
Oh, all right. Now that's a big bomb you just dropped on like me.
Yeah, I understand.
You're saying Uncle Calloway, who I haven't seen my entire life and only heard stories about it from not my mom, but you know what I'm saying, my aunt. So you mean to tell me that motherfucker is walking around saying that he's you?
I didn't know that's something he was doing, but apparently.
So, should I be worried?
He's dangerous, but I don't know that he would hurt you. I don't know that he has a reason to. Unless someone paid him.
I can't put Rice and Vanessa in that situation. I can't. If anything happens to me, then I just gotta know that they're gonna be safe.
If anything happens to you, it will be my first goal to protect you.
Can I have like an insurance policy? Like, how do I know that I'm gonna be alright?
What would you like from me that could be considered an insurance? See.
I mean, I don't. Well, is he like after you?
Yeah. Well, he's after the Black Eagle. And I'm a Black Eagle, so technically yes.
Alright, I got a plan. So I moved to Earth 1 and I built a cabin. I never see anybody again. How's that?
That's your plan?
It's all I got. Hey, you know more than anybody I am a terrible thinker.
I mean, you just like, are you leaving your family behind?
Oh no. Well, Vanessa's, she she like half of my shit in the fucking divorce, so she can come with if she wants, but she's gotta live in a separate cabin. Fuck that. Joint custody is fine, but like it's too much. Well, I mean, I gotta take right. Okay, cabin, scratch that. Do you what? What do you got?
I don't have a plan because the only place I have is the Black Eagles, and that would just be taking you directly into danger.
You're a pretty intimidating guy.
Okay.
Kind of scary. Like you got the whole "Ooga booga, I'm a robot" thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So like, what if you come around more often? Be like, hey, I'm big scary robot guy. You check in, and in exchange for this kind of protection, and like any protection that you can give me with the Black Eagles, I'll let you meet Rice, my son, your grandson.
I'd do that.
I mean, I'm not using him as a bargaining chip, but I know that's probably something that you would like. I mean, you weren't in my life. You might as well be in that little bugger's life. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to have any connection to my old life. I don't know much about.
Connection to your old life. Okay. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. You have some of your Black Eagle friends. Have them come here. Make sure that nothing happens to me or my boy, right? Or Vanessa. God bless her heart. Make sure nothing happens to them. What?
What happened between you two?
Oh, just communication issues. I'm an asshole. It is what it is. We're on good terms. It's been like 5 years. Little Rice. Whatever. Anyway, that's fine. That's good. So you get some of your Black Eagle friends come down here, bring me and my own. Cause I'm a firefighter. I got like an axe upstairs, but that's about it. I'm not a real big gun guy. So you like Black Eagles friends come here, protect me. I'll let you see Rice, and I got a couple gifts for you. Sweeten the pot, cause I know you want some of that stuff. And he goes upstairs really fast, and he comes back downstairs with something slung over his shoulder and this box. He sets the box on the table, he opens it, and you see a couple of medals. You see just honorary tokens from the IUP. They're tokens of gratitude towards somebody. And he lays this outfit, which is a very fine pressed, well kept, kind of military ball suit with the hat. It's very nice, very pristine.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. And I got like his social security card. I don't know why they gave this to me. That's kind of weird.
He gave you his social security card?
No, my dead dad gave me. No.
Oh, okay.
No, like the government. They gave me the.
Got it. Is that something that happens?
I'm not sure. They gave it to me. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Either way, I got that. And I got this suit. And you can meet.
Did the government give you the suit too?
Oh no, my aunt had this. Richie, well, I guess your sister-in-law, Aunt Petunia, she's real sweet. So she gave me this. She gave me these two, the medals. But I got this Social Security. You can't use it. Because obviously you got no proof of your birth. But that's kind of nice. Say it's got the name on there.
It does have the name on
It's got the numbers.
it. Has the numbers.
So, like, are they supposed to, like, subtract the numbers? I'm not going to ask about it. I couldn't understand. Couldn't tell you. Anyway, is that deal?
It's a deal.
And he stands up from the table and he puts his hand out.
Unikite puts his hand out too.
Oh God, you're so fucking cold. Oh, stop crushing my hand. I'm just kidding.
You see, I could have actually crushed your hand and I wouldn't know because I can't feel your hand.
Please don't. That would suck.
Well, I wouldn't do it on purpose.
Right. Well, I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
He's at his mother's
Oh.
right now, so we're just gonna maybe give that a month or so.
I'll make sure to send people over.
Hell yeah. And he lets you out, waves goodbye.
If he comes back, let me know.
Of course. I keep this thing locked up tighter than like a lockbox at the bank. That's a good analogy, like a lockbox.
That worked good. It's a good simile. I'm proud of you.
Well, I'll see you later, Mr. Unikite.
See you later.
And he shuts the door, and that is the end of that interaction. Who would like to go next?
Me, if I'm allowed.
Okay.
At the end of that, you would actually have a message on your ship, comm,
Okay.
from Locke, and it says, "Don't worry about how I found the ship in a place. But come back to Earth 4, so 4 or 3.
4 would be the administration.
Earth 4. Yeah, come back to Earth 4. I've had an idea.
Okay, I'll see you soon. Kite goes on his way.
Kite? Fuck yeah.
Unikite.
No. You calling him Kite now.
I didn't even say that.
I think you cut out. So you step onto the ship, and you fly off into space. It takes about 30 minutes, but you get to Earth 4. From Earth 5, which is where you were, you get to Earth 4. You dock in the bay. It's a pretty chilly day out. And meeting
There
you...
would be a page waiting there for him.
Page?
A goon, one of Locke's many couriers and messengers that go in and out.
Hello, my name is Benny. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Benny. How are you?
My name is Benny. I am the head I'm a secretary. I can't do the same voice. My name's Benny. I'm the head secretary. I'm here
Good
to
to meet you.
escort you to Locke Twain's count. You're gonna talk to Locke.
Okay. Lead the way.
He gets out a clipboard. He goes, "So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good.
It was a good day. Why do I have the clipboard out?" And he puts it away. So, like, do you have magic powers?
Yes.
How do you... Oh, you get it from the... I'm gonna stop talking. We're almost there.
No, don't stop talking. How was your day?
Oh, my day was great. I met the sweetest gal on Tinder. She turned out to be a dude. But that's okay. And we had a great conversation.
That's nice.
He's kind of cute, not gonna lie.
You gonna go on another date?
Maybe. But anyway. So he leads you into the community of Dugara. And Locke says this is another one of your things that you can world build. What does it look like?
It's very, very clinical, but not in a hospital sense. In a very, very refined, slight 80s business sense, kind of clinical.
That is an oddly specific description.
Locke is an oddly specific person.
That's true. And as this happens, as you guys walk towards the elevator, you open it, and greeting you is Oscar, Locke's husband. He goes,
Hello.
Unikite, right?
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm not used to the robot voice. It's kind of hard to like get it into your head. And he unfolds his cane and adjusts his glasses. You can see he's got like some grime marks on his coat from working in the community of Hemi, and he looks like he just got his lunch from Locke. And he
So-
unfolds his cane and he begins to walk out of the elevator.
Am I supposed to follow you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
Why would you follow me? I'm going to the door, man.
Okay. I didn't know.
As you're talking, you would hear Locke's voice in your head. Oh, good, you're here. Perfect. Slight change of plans. Tell Benny to take you to one of the meditation gardens here.
Will do.
Yes. Specifically, Black Hole. Tell him to take you to Black Hole.
Black hole. Okay, I'm gonna go to Benny because any chance to talk to Benny is the best. Hey Benny.
Yes.
I was told to go to one of the meditation gardens. I think it was like Black Hole or something like that.
Oh, I hate black hole. It always gets my allergies going. I think he's trying to. Damn it! Damn it, Locke. You know I have my allergies. Anyway,
I think a nasally voice suits you.
well, that's very nice. And he walks out of the community of Dugara, and he begins leading you to the community of Eri Eri, which is home to. Eri Eri is the Alket of nature, so of course there are many gardens, and they do have some meditation rooms. So they take you to Black Hole, which I think you said it was, Locke. And he goes, "I'm not going in there. Not going in there.
Then okay.
You can
Thank you for taking me around.
have fun. Hey,
I hope you get another date.
me too. He's a nice guy." And he leaves, and you are standing in front of Black Hole Garden.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in.
Describe it to us, Locke.
It is. It's a stone rock Zen garden. So one of those ones where you take a rake to it and like rake all the stones. Except none of the foliage is green. It's mostly purple. Hence the name Black Hole. There's an artificial sun and a small artificial river running through the middle, and a seat and a large bench kind of across from each other. And Locke is sitting in the seat, kind of looking at a tablet as you walk in.
Hello, Locke.
Good. You're here. Right.
It's very
Sit down,
nice.
please. Yeah, this
Okay.
is one of my favorite places here. What did you think of the new decoration scheme we're doing with the
You know?
community?
This whole area is very nice.
Oh, I meant my Alket's the best looking one.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it is.
It is. Not that I can see the others though. It's fine. So you're probably wondering why I asked you to come to this weird garden with purple trees.
Yes, I am.
You're an amnesiac, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of the many hats I wear here is that of a, how do you say, I believe in your tongue it's a therapist? Particularly
Yes,
a
that would
psychotherapist.
work.
I deal with extreme cases of post-traumatic stress disorder. I once had an extreme agoraphobe. That was fun. Had to go to Earth 6. Smelled like the place for weeks. And lots of other not so nice afflictions of the mind. you humans have such fragile brain chemistry. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Very
our whole
easy.
bodies are kind of weak.
They are. That's why we got these. And Locke taps their horns. I was wondering if you would allow me to try and open the block that is stopping you from accessing our memory.
Yeah. I feel like this should have been mentioned more. If you... Yes.
If you are willing, we can start right now. Or
How
I
much
can,
time is this gonna take?
I don't really know.
Have you ever done anything like this?
I've used my abilities to soothe mental afflictions before, yes. Never something quite like this. Memories are a strange thing, even to someone who can understand a brain quite like I can.
I guess all we can do is try. And if something goes wrong, this would be like the third time I die. So you know what? That's pretty interesting.
Oh, it won't kill you.
Alright, I guess we try then.
Very well. Excuse me. I'm going to ask you to lie down on this bench, though. Put you in a slight hypnotic trance, because I've found that with any mind, it's much easier to help if they're not resisting too much. If you catch what I mean.
Yeah. This is going to be awkward. Is this a public space?
No, the door is locked to our biometrics. The only two
Okay.
people who can access and enter this place until I leave is you and me.
Alright. Unikite lays down.
It's quite a sophisticated like I was gonna say something clever, but I'm stupid. It's very sophisticated. There's a lot of places like this where it locks onto biometrics. It's a specific kind of technology made by Oscar, where it basically you use your body as the key.
And given that both of our bodies are unique, no one else is going to be able to open the door. So, Locke will dim the lights and take out a good old-fashioned pendulum made out of this very weird silvery blue metal. And just ask you to focus on it as it swings. Very slowly, left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right. All the while, Locke's just talking to you, asking about your day, where you've been, how you got the ship, all that
Do you want
stuff.
to respond to all of these things?
No, you don't have to. And eventually, Locke is going to ask you to sync. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you...
And when this happens, you sort of shut off your eyes, so you don't really see anything.
I shut off my what?
Your eyes, you have direct
Okay.
access to shutting those kinds of things off since you're a robot, so you shut them off, and now you can't see.
Nor... You can still move, you just don't
Oh,
really
yeah.
have the will to. It's a very strange... It's probably the calmest you've ever been since you woke up. And then I'm going to try and access.
Okay, that is a probe roll.
Interface. That's a partial success.
Does it help if I have really bad interface?
No.
It's an interface on my part, not yours.
Yeah, you're not trying to specifically. Okay, so I think what happens with this is, as you probe into Unikite's mind, his champion material is sort of interfering with yours, and it's kind of hard to get in there without fully, letting yourself go to the power of the Alket. Both of you. And it has to be a mutual sort of sign off to let the Alket sort of control what's about to go down.
Considering this is something Unikite has wanted, the entirety of him being like awake as like a robot, he's definitely just so willing to do anything it takes. So he's willing.
And Locke?
Locke trusts Dugara to do the best for both of us.
Okay. So you both sort of enter a hypnotic state, and you are now side by side, standing right beside each other, in this sort of purple mist room. And you see 3 doors in front of the both of you.
Welcome to your mind.
It's emptier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So what are these doors?
That's for you to decide.
Are the doors like labeled at all, or is it just straight up doors?
I will say one of the doors is purple, one is white, and the other is black.
Do any of these
You
colors
like-
mean anything to you?
Purple has the most relevance, but I don't know. I feel like we can go through the purple one.
Then let's. Locke will wave their hand. The door will open. You first.
All right. Unikite walks into the purple door.
Locke would follow.
So you guys close this door behind you, and standing in front of you, you guys see, for the first time, a physical embodiment of the Alket. You see a giant, swirling, you would say blue-ringed octopus, but it's purple. It's swirling around in front of you, and it swims over to the both of you. And you can't really... You feel very alive, is the best way you can describe it. Just in the presence of this Alket, you feel so very living. And it's at this moment that you guys see as well another large animal. You see a giant orange rhino sort of sitting and relaxing, and it opens an eye at both of you.
Locke would wave at it.
You see, it sort of like tilts its head in a sort of hello. And you hear a very calming whisper. What would you like to see?
My past? Do you need a specific event?
Yes.
What's the most important event in my human life?
That is for you to decide.
Can you show me my childhood?
I
Like-
may. And it wraps a tentacle around you. Locke Twain, would you care to join?
Would you like me along?
You know what? This is an experience for both of us, so of course.
Okay.
Say that?
Unikite, I must warn you. The images you will see might not be what you were looking for.
I want to see whatever I can. I just want to know the truth.
And you see the rhino figure of Dugara stand up and loom over you. Remember, you are champions of the Alket, and always will be. And you both suddenly drop through this misty floor of purple fog, and you land standing in a small kitchen. You see a large man, like pretty burly kind of guy, standing over a counter, and he's drinking some hard whiskey. and he's looking at a photo of this beautiful woman. And you see sitting at the kitchen table, you see two. Well, there's a young boy and then a boy who's about 17, just sitting there, quietly eating a bowl of something. They look like they got into a pretty heated argument a couple minutes ago. You notice that there's a little bit of scuff marks on the older boy's hands, and the older gentleman is sort of he's pretty beat up. He's got some bruises on his face, but he looks like he did a number on the 17-year-old. And he's standing there looking at this picture. And he stretches. And he goes, "You both are pathetic. You know that? You're not gonna amount to anything. You're never gonna be anything. This world just has a way of beating the shit out of people who are good and pure. So you tell me, the hell you gonna do with your life?" And the older kid kind of stands up and he goes, "Fuck you. Alright? We don't need this. We don't need you. And you know who else didn't need you? Mom didn't need you. You're a fucking loser. That's why she's gone. And that's why everybody thinks you killed her, because you're a fucking piece of shit. All you know is drink, eat, sleep. Drink, eat, sleep. And it's pathetic. And you're nothing. And you're not gonna be nothing. You never were, never have been. And you sit here and you act like you're better than you two kids, but the truth is, you're just as shitty as everybody else in this world. And I don't need you, man. You're fucking... You're a joke. You're pathetic. Come on, Richie, let's go." And the older kid takes the younger boy's hand. And as they begin to walk out the door, "I'll call the police." "See, you can go wherever you want, Calloway. But if you kidnap Richie, oh, you'll go to jail. Just like me." And the older boy looks at the younger and goes, "Do you want to come with me, Richie?" What do you say?
Oh. But I don't want to leave Dad.
We gotta go. We can't stay here.
But I don't want to leave him. He's already alone.
Yeah, that's right, Calloway. Your silver tongue ain't gonna do shit. Come on, Rich. Let's watch a movie. And the younger boy steps away from his older brother. And that is the end of that memory. And you guys are back in that same room with the doors, but this time the purple room is gone. Just standing in front of you are the white and the black doors.
Why didn't I leave with him?
I don't know. My suggestion is to understand that these are memories from the past.
Do you have a preferred door? Alright, then we can go into the white one.
It's like a hand.
And you step into the white room, and you are standing in a hospital room. You see the same little boy, but now he's in his 30s. He's taking care of a small group of elderly, just generally telling them the procedures of the day, handing out various equipment to the other orderly, and just sort of smiling and having a happy-go-lucky time. Not happy-go-lucky, that sounds stupid. It's peaceful in this hospital. But as you look outside, you see this war-torn wasteland. Not wasteland, but it's pretty dim and dark outside. The fog of war has clearly taken over this place, but this hospital, as of yet, is untouched. And you guys follow Richie, and he seems in a pretty good mood. He walks down the hallway and enters the natal care room. And he opens the large wooden door to another room, and you see a beautiful woman sitting on the bed, and she is cradling a small boy with bright orange hair, just like his father. And what describe Richie's wife to us?
I guess it doesn't matter since we don't have the old description, so I'll just make up something new. She's just a little bit shorter than Richie, and Richie was decently tall. So she's tall for a woman. She has brown hair and blue eyes, and she's very like traditionally attractive.
Okay. So yeah, she's just sitting there and she's rocking this child. And you guys sit on the bed together, and she scoots over and she sort of lays her head on your shoulders. Busy day, huh?
What'd you say?
Busy day, huh?
Yeah,
Seem a little distracted today.
there's a lot of things going on in the world.
Well, I'm just glad I came with, so that I can have such a sweet man taking care of me.
Glad you came too. It's nice to have you.
So, you know this little boy's been born for like 2 days, and you still haven't settled on a name yet?
Yeah, I know.
I like Zachary because we could call him Zach or Z, but Jeremiah is also very nice, and that's all I'm saying.
I also like Jeremiah.
Well, that's great, because that's actually the one I wanted. Clever trick.
Well, I'm glad we agree.
And you guys just sort of talk for hours and take care of this newborn. And about 6 o'clock, you hear some rushing going on in the hallway. You step out, and your wife she nods to you and she goes, "Go, you're needed." And you
Alright.
step out, and you see down the hallways, you see troops patrolling. I don't think you've really decided on whose side you're on account of the fact that you are a doctor, sort of, more of a combat medic, but a doctor, and you do no harm and you take care of whoever comes in, and these troops are just sort of like looking over the sick. One of them walks up to you, and you see a large tan overcoat with white fur on it over this black body glove. And Buck, what was the name of your original army before you joined Princess Mercury in her Vision Quest?
Ooh, connecting the characters.
So, these large soldiers in their military overcoats walk up to you. Are you in charge here?
I no.
You seem like a man of honor. Are you in charge here?
No.
Well, as the Gaudian commander, I'm here to tell you that you're in charge here. Because I am now in charge of you.
Did you take this area?
We have. It's a signal. You hear a loud signal. And the Gaudian soldiers look around. This is a hospital, right?
Yeah.
Men, protect them. I think there's an airstrike coming. And that's the end of that memory. And you are back in that room, and all that stands before you is a black door.
Well, there's only one left.
So, do you guys walk in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys walk through the door. And you are in a dark room. It's a lab room, to be sure. There's lots of bits and bobs for research. You see open books. But standing in front of you, you see a large platform. It's about up to your chest. And floating in it, you see a small black crystal. Standing in the corner, hunched over, you see the figure of not a human, but a monster. Leathery black skin, beady, glassy black eyes, and a mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth just glares at you from the corner. You step forward, and you grasp this black crystal in your hands. And as you're holding it, it elongates and becomes sharp. You look down at your lab coat, you push it aside, and you stab yourself in the chest. And immediately black veins fill your chest. You see your shirt rip as crystal creations begin sprouting from your body. And you look down again at your hands. Razor sharp black claws are what make up your body. And you turn to your left and you see that same figure. It stands 8 feet tall, intimidating, terrifying. And yet you feel at home. Your eyes open once more. You're looking up and you're back in the black hole garden, and you see that nothing has really changed. You stretch about as much as a robot needs to, which is not at all. You're back in your body and you just sort of like take in all of this information. And you look to your left and you see towering over you. You see Locke. And his horns are bright white. And billowing from his mouth, you see white light. And Locke looks at you, and in a voice that does not sound like their own. Who are you?
I'm Unikite.
And Locke falls to the ground unconscious. And that's the end of that interaction.
Okay.
Mr. Obama, get down.
So, up next is...
Okay, bye guys.
Alright, night.
Adios.
It's like an hour past my bedtime.
Good night, friend.
Good night.
Good
I
night.
go to bed at 10.
Oh,
I'm not a barbarian.
that is true.
You are a barbarian. Did he
Ooh.
just hiss at me?
I think.
You. I think he just hissed at me.
Did he really?
Is this the 4th grade?
I'm reporting him.
So,
Hold on,
Andrew's gotta connect all of our characters.
did he leave?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to put the thing on pause. Highlight, you have chosen your next interaction to be what?
Well, I thought of something before, but now I kind of just want to do something. I don't know what I want to do.
Okay.
Surprise me.
Okay. Water, good. Okay.
I've been surprised.
Okay. So,
But I want to try and harness the power of the crystal I have. Kind of like, you know how like Dr. Practice did the cool stuff? I want to do the cool stuff.
okay.
I know it's a bit of a left turn, but I thought about it more. And I think Helpful is unique, and I really don't want to make a mech out of that.
Okay, did you ask for anybody's help to do this?
No.
Are you sure?
I can't think of anyone.
Oscar would be able to help.
Okay, I'll go to Oscar, since you really want me to talk to him that bad.
Yes. Okay, so you have gone to Oscar's office. Oscar is Locke Twain's blind husband who is extraordinarily gifted in technology and creation. And he's actually the one that helped build the brain that you and Locke visited. So you assumed that he would have a lot of knowledge about that, which was very correct in your knowledge because, yes, he is. So you guys are in his workshop together. You've been tinkering around, trying to do various tests, hooking up electrodes and the such to the crystal that you have, the harbor. And you guys haven't really figured anything out yet. You are sort of doing a lot of experiments. You're not entirely sure if you can do what Praxis does. And for those of you who don't know, Praxis is capable of harnessing black crystals and building structures out of them. That's what his harbor does, because he is a champion of Ured. But you guys have not been able to figure out if this harbor is able to do that. And Oscar says, Iolite, I'm not sure if we'll be able to do this without the other half. Are you sure that the other half of the harbor was not in the brain? Because that's the last place it was.
It wasn't there. Something like orange was there. Like some orange thing, and your husband dealt with that. I don't. It's
My spouse is strange.
Oh, oops.
No, it's fine. Locke gets a little lot. But it's strange. There was a lot of protection that went into that, and I had to sign several contracts. And it is such a hassle to print these braille fucking papers off. But luckily, we did it, and we were supposed to set up a lot of security. What happened? Was it broken into or something?
I wish. Just. Something orange is there, like.
Orange. Huh. I'm not great with colors.
I am.
But I believe orange is the color assigned to Dugara, so that would explain Locke's harbor, but yours didn't have this similar essence? Strange. And he walks over. He has muscle memory of this place, so he's just all over it. And he grabs this little rubber ducky off of his desk and just squeezes it and sets it back. And he puts his fingers together. Well, Dugara is the Alket of the mind, so that would explain how it connects to the mind. But Hemi is the Dugara of advancement. Obviously, that's the Alket I am under. But this doesn't make any sense. Where could it have gone? Where could it have gone? And he just begins mumbling to himself and sort of stroking his chin. And Heffel flies into the room and gives you a the little drone. Describe what Heffel looks like.
Heffel is a drone. If you've seen a drone, it's a drone with a blue circle in the middle of it, and beneath it is a beneath it hoisters a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And riding on top of Heffel, you do see your grenade baby, which has a bright little glowing smile and is basically a grenade capable of emitting sleep gas. And it looks down from on top, and it sort of like smiles a little brighter.
Baby.
And Iale.
Mhm.
So, Park Do Uni, you said that when you last saw him, he was able to harness the power of his Alket Didar and summon massive amounts of energy, lightning, fire,
Mhm.
and he's a champion. You're a champion. Can you do that?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Because the demon parts, which are those pieces of armor, right, that have the pieces of Didar's harbor in them, that's why he's collecting them. Exposition dump, am I right, gamers?
Indeed.
He goes, if he had pieces of his harbor and he was able to unleash, you have a piece of your harbor. Why don't you try to unleash?
I'll try.
Okay.
Uh,
Roll plus interface.
I got a 9.
Okay. So you grip your harbor and hold it in your hands, and you put it close to your chest, and you just sort of hold it and just think about unleashing. And you open your eyes, and nothing has happened. How?
Oh,
Did nothing happen?
no.
What was Uni like whenever he unleashed?
He was. What do you mean?
How was he acting? How was he feeling in that moment?
Shoot, I don't remember. Like he needed. Like desperate.
Desperate.
He seems kind of desperate. Like he was willing to die for what he wanted.
There's a lot of emotions that come with wanting to die for what you love. Maybe he was under a lot of stress. Or maybe something emotional triggered it. Think of something that angers you. Or makes you sad. Just something that causes an extreme emotional reaction.
Okay.
Family issues, relationship issues. Tell me.
Maybe that one time that well, I was treated. Well, I could think of multiple things. I was treated kind of bad as a kid, which is kind of annoying and not nice. But I think what really hurts the most is being killed by my sister for profit.
Sorry, what?
My sister killed me.
And you're standing in front of me.
Yeah, I know. She killed like everyone. It was kind of weird.
Okay. So I want you to think back on this time and that you were killed by your sister. And just let all of that raw emotional energy charge you.
Why I kept him.
So you close your eyes again, and you are flashed back to that time. You're on Laku's old ship with Opalescence, Unikite, Laku, and that's it, really. You guys are sitting in the ship, just having a good time. You just came back from a successful hit-and-run mission. Well, not hit-and-run, but you guys robbed a bank because you were low on cash, and that's what you guys were good at. And you're sitting in this grassy field and just kind of partying. When out of the blue, you see the door open. And in comes this towering figure, very lanky and intimidating. And he has these different kinds of syringes strapped to his chest and these large syringes in his hand. And you can't really see his face because it's covered by this black body glove, and you can't see his eyes, but you can see his mouth, and he's frothing at the mouth. And he charges at you guys, and Opalescence, in her bravery, she slides forward. She grabs him by the legs and throws him over, but not before getting stabbed by the syringe, and it slowly injects this oozing liquid into her chest. And she just begins seizing and falls on the ground, and she falls limp and stops breathing. As you guys are beginning to mount your attack on this guy, you see this this other figure charge in, and this other figure is holding a large disc-like figure, and you see he's got a purple bandana pulled over his face, and he grabs the disc and he just slings it right into Unikite's chest, and Unikite's lights die down for a moment, and he falls limp and stops moving. And finally, you see the familiar figure of your sister walk in, and she's holding a large rifle, and you can see emblazoned on her dull yellow armor, you see what looks like a star, and she raises it at you, and you can see the tears in her eyes as she shoots. And with this, we see Oscar, and he's standing in front of Iolite, and Iolite just is shaking with fear and adrenaline and anger, and she begins to float off the ground, and this yellow lightning sparks off of her arms and off of her hair, and Heffel just shakes and falls to the ground, and this large electronic pulse emits from her chest and goes boom, and all of the lights and all of the technology and the entirety of the administration of the Alket short circuits, restarts, and you fall to your knees gripping this harbor, and you just open your eyes and you see the lights are off, and as the backup generators kick on, you see a dull red light, and you see Oscar just sort of like standing. He would be looking around if he wasn't blind, just sort of dumbfounded. And he goes, "Everything shut off." I
I did it.
You have control over machines and technology. You can use this to your advantage.
Oh, dude, sicko. She's very giddy.
And she stands up, and Heffel just kind of restarts and floats up and goes. And as all of the lights begin to kick back on and restart, Oscar goes, "I hope all the champions can't do that." And that is the end of that interaction. So, with that, Iolite, I want you to add a skill to your. You know what? I'm actually going to write it out, and I'm going to give all of the champions this. But mark it down on your sheet, listed as Unleash.
Okay.
And next up, Cash. So, it's been about a week, and you guys have found where the Black Eagles are staying. You and Star are touching down on a small speeder in this snowy landscape. And you guys slowly sneak in. You see, Star is a short man who, even in the cold of winter, is wearing this very nice denim jacket, and he's got a big hat on, but no shirt underneath, showing off the scars underneath the top part of his chest. And he walks over to this small control panel on the side of this large white building that you could hardly even see because there's so much snow, and this building itself is white, but you guys did see the dull glow of the ship bay doors, which are like basically like force fields that drop down. It's Star Wars. It's like Star Wars. And
I've never seen that.
and he walks up to this door that's right adjacent to one of these, and he pulls out this small little kit, and it's got like some screwdrivers and stuff in it, and he just unscrews it and begins working on these wires. He gestures for you to keep watch out, and it looks like everybody's asleep. It's pretty dark on this planet right now. And eventually the metal door does open, but he has to kind of shove it very slowly and quietly. And he rolls into the dark room, pulls out 2 dual pistols, and just scans the area. What do you do?
You said he's heading in there as well?
Yeah, he just like fucking tactical rolled in there.
Yeah, is it like only partially open, or is it?
No, you both can get in there.
Alright, I'm gonna back up like slowly just to keep an eye out a little bit more, just to make sure nobody's back there. And then I'm just gonna follow him in.
Okay, so you guys are navigating around turned off ships and big crates. And that is when you hear the click of some heavy military boots. And you see this large man with black hair that's been shaved. And he has like a full beard and this tan overcoat with white insulation over this green metal suit. And he's sort of patrolling, and you notice something weird about him. He doesn't have any weapons, but he has these golden bands around his wrists. But he seems to be the only one patrolling this room right now.
You said that he was just him, but he's like, you said, what was he again?
He's pretty tall. He's got like black hair that's been like buzz cut, and he has these gold wristbands, but no weapons.
You said the dude with me is Star?
Yeah, Star.
Hey, Star, you ever seen somebody like that before?
I don't know. Kind of a cringe lord, not gonna lie.
I completely agree. You think we could take him?
He doesn't look too tough, but I can't tell underneath all that overcoat and that armor.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he has a few pistols or something underneath.
Only one way to find out.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try to go behind him, try to sneak past him.
I'll take point and I'll distract him.
Alright.
And Star moves the opposite direction of you as you begin to sneak behind. And Buck, are you there? Okay. So Buck,
Okay.
it's about 2 a.m. It's a Wednesday night here at the administration. You are currently assigned to be watching over the hangar bay. It's a pretty quiet night. There's like one light on, and that's sort of where you're patrolling, and you're just kind of keeping an eye out. You thought you felt like a cold chill, but it kind of went away. But out of the darkness, you steps a man, pretty short, has like slicked back black hair, and he's wearing like a cowboy hat, and he's got like this denim jacket with tassels on it, and he's wearing thick black cowboy boots. And you see he's definitely armed. He has 2 holsters on his side with 2 pistols, but they're currently put away. And he begins walking out of the shadows right towards you. What do you do?
You don't look familiar. Who are you?
My name is Stanley. I'm with the water company, and I'm basically here to just, look at all the water and make sure all the water is good. Like water and stuff.
I don't know, guys. He seems like he knows what he's talking about.
I don't believe you are dressed as a plumber.
Yes. I was just at a costume party, so I had to come dressed up. And
There is
Cash,
no reason to lie.
Cash, you see, start kind of struggling, talking to this guy, and he sort of looks pretty wide-eyed. He's kind of looking at you, waiting for your moment.
Alright. Well, since on my pistol I have a stun mode, I'm going to try to switch to that and use that.
Okay, I'm gonna say to keep quiet, roll metal.
Roll the 7.
Okay, so you do switch it, and you're already aimed at the back of this guy's head, but Buck, you hear the sound of a revolver click into a different position. And it's right behind you.
I will throw up my barrier behind me while drawing my own pistol.
Okay. Cash, you see one of these golden wristbands, sort of like liquid metal, materialize into a very crude pistol, and he points it right at Star, and Star pulls out both of his, and he just kind of has them at his side. And he goes, whoa, 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 wait now, hold on. Hold on, is he one of them champions?
What is your purpose here?
Well, Cash, step out of the shadows. He got one of them magic powers. See that little barrier behind him?
Yeah.
And you see Cash step out of the shadows as well from behind you. And he goes, now there's no need for nobody to get hurt. We're on a mission to get you champions to join us in a... This can't be... It's a race, right, Cash?
Yeah.
So there's a race. But y'all are gonna need to come with us. Because we need your powerful powers.
A race.
Yes.
I have quite a few other responsibilities, but I'm sure if you would talk to the other champions, they would go along with it. However, you did try to sneak into my home.
Now, wait, hold on. We had to sneak in here because it's fun. I like sneaking in to
The
places.
administration welcomes most. There was no reason to sneak unless you had ulterior motives.
Man, I really like sneaking into places. Hold on, and he sort of does like a little twirls them around his fingers and puts them back into his holsters. I really like sneaking. It's one of my favorite things to do. I'm not kidding about that. We really could have walked through the front door.
Your outfit says otherwise.
Oh, this? And he pulls aside his shirt, and you notice that he's shirtless underneath his denim jacket with tassels on it, and you can see like his metal arm extends out, but you see these large scars. He goes, "Some of us just want to change," and he drops it back, and he goes, "And I like to change it up every once in a while. So, sneaking into places is fun. Walking in the front door, not as much fun."
I see. Well, I think placing you under arrest is the best call, and then you may speak to the other champions later on.
Well, you see, that's just not gonna happen.
Oh?
Getting arrested is not really our strong suit.
Arrested is a strong term.
But you said it, and I don't think we can go along with that.
I
Listen.
see.
The way we got in here doesn't matter. You want to come with us or not?
No.
All right, then let's get the fuck out of here. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, what he said. And then the one begins to just, like, very cartoonishly, just like a fucking dust ball in their shape is already there.
I'm going to alert everyone else that there are intruders.
Are you gonna try to stop them?
No, because they're not being hostile. They're just walking away.
Okay. You set up the alarm, and you see the alarms blare. And you see a couple of them run in, a couple of your fellow protectors kind of run in and cut Cash and Star off. And he goes, "Son of a bitch! I said we weren't going to get arrested. I can't go back in the cell. I did my nickel."
Look. Just answer a few questions for us, and then you don't seem like a man who would hurt others.
I just
Often?
told you I ain't answering no questions. We came here with one mission, and you said no, because you're a butthole.
I see. Then you need to talk to the other champions, correct?
There's more?
There are quite a few more.
You know, I don't trust these fucking assholes, but he did send us here on a mission, so I guess we can try to explain our decision.
Y'all got something to eat?
Yeah. Just follow the men in front of you.
I said I ain't
look-
getting arrested again.
There is no cell.
Well, aren't we all filled with cells? I think if I follow you guys, I'll get arrested.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my
Let's just
God.
fucking go.
Well, fair enough. And he just begins following you guys. And so you decide it's probably best not to wake up the rest of the champions, so you do just kind of give them a place to stay. And the rest of the party wakes up. And you are all called by Buck to come meet with these people. But before Iolite can get there, she's stopped by two very familiar faces.
Whoa.
You see a green hologram of a very dapper gentleman, and the pink hologram of a very vivacious lady.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Sesame and Teacup are standing right in front of you, and the green one, Sesame, goes, "Iolite!"
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a proposition for you.
What?
So, walk with me.
Okay.
Two of our compadres came here on a mission, but they apparently suck at it. And that's to get
Mhm.
you guys to join us in a race.
What are the terms.
And as you guys are talking, you guys walk into the room. Cash, you know these two as well. These are Sesame and Teacup. They're two AI individuals that you've come to know very well in your organization. And they go, "Oh, I thought they weren't here." And now you are all standing in the same room.
Oh. Are these your compadres that failed?
Apparently didn't fail
Listen.
that bad.
Fail is a strong word, okay? We just were caught.
Sounds like a fail to me. I don't think Jaws is gonna be very happy with that.
Anyway, what matters is the matter that we were sent here on. Okay, we just need you to come with us, and the person who sent us on this mission can explain everything.
What?
Y'all got nice accents.
Yeah.
It's what we do
Anyway.
best.
Oh, I just remembered.
Damn it.
I feel like you should explain it to us now.
What? No,
What's going on?
I don't even fucking know, dude. Stop asking me. I don't know the answers.
Then why are you here?
Oh, I was here to get you. I assume you're one of these champions.
And we are. Who are you?
My name is Star. And I am the very best rootin' tootin' two-gun shooting some bitch y'all ever see. And
Alright.
yes, and I work for Jaws.
Who?
Well, Sesame speaks up. Technically, we all work for Jaws.
Okay, so Sesame, Star, and whoever that is
Teacup.
works for Jaws.
Teacup is there as well. She's the pink one. She's very embarrassed by this whole thing, so she's kind of keeping quiet.
I never suspected you two would be a part of this.
What you mean by this? We're great people.
Did you or did you not just break in here?
You guys are very low standards, so they're high standards. Oh, maybe they're. I just think they have high standards.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Hold on. Let me explain. Cash here and Star were assigned a mission to get as much information about you guys as they could. They had a secondary mission, which was to get you guys to join us. But they're not exactly the most great with words. No offense. You guys are awesome. Love the work.
Yeah, I just usually let my gun do the talking.
That's not
So-
gonna get you far.
Our organization is very paranoid, so they wanted to get to know you guys before they got to know you guys. Me and Teacup, we put in as good a word as we could, but they're not very trusting of most humans. Alternates, which I'm sure you know are people who have cybernetic implementations, alternates and robots are probably the majority of our organization. We are these set of individuals who seek to fight for mechanical rights. And they're not very trusting of humans.
We only have like 2 humans.
I know, they really like you, but not this one and this one. Also not the other one. They were sent here to get information. I and my sister were here to invite you all to join us.
They don't like me. I made you.
No, I love you. Like, you're our best friend. But
Oh, wait, am I?
yes, you're dating my brother. First of all, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Secondly,
I haven't talked
Can
to you
we,
guys in like
other,
ever.
can we get any information other than it's a race?
okay, hold on. I have a whole presentation. Do you and your organization want to make millions of credits? Racing across the galaxy and causing a momentous amount of destruction in your path? All in good fun. No lives were harmed in the making of this. And make profit your most profitable charity? I'm very bad at this. Basically, if you win a race, you get a military pardon from the head of the IUP himself, Eli Callahan, and you get about 3,000 credits to the charity or organization of your choosing. It's a race across several different planets, and before each race begins, you fight in a gladiatory match against your opponents to the death.
So, since you're in an organization and we're in an organization, who's getting the spoils for this whole thing?
Well, here's the thing. We are inviting you because of your force and your military prowess and all of the knowledge that the administration has, but you're not legit. You don't have a face. You're technically all terrorists, but if you go with a legit organization such as ours, then you could be backed by us, and we could take the money. Some of it go to us, and the rest of it goes to you.
But who gets the pardon?
Everybody involved with the group, but I don't know if that will really matter because that guy is a grade A asshole, and I don't think he'll go for it. But he might, and there's only one way to find out.
What's the percentages for money? Like, is it 50-50?
Our group is very small, and we'd like to fold it into yours.
Okay.
So maybe 30-70, and then eventually it would be 100% because we'd all be the same group.
Well-
What's your group do?
We are in charge of mechanical rights.
Oh yeah.
We don't really have an exact name, but if we join you, we could just be the Black Eagles.
That seems like bad press.
I
Jaws,
also feel
Jaws' gang is an amazing organization that stands for mechanical rights, and if we get you guys in there, it'll look like you stand for mechanical rights as well, and maybe you won't be terrorists anymore. You might get an official pardon, we don't know.
Also, I
Okay.
don't feel like we have the jurisdiction to tell you whether we're supposed to be doing this or not.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we're not the leaders of this whole organization. And, letting
Buck
you guys
is.
join in with us isn't our call.
Well,
Isn't Buck the leader?
Yeah, would we know that? I assume so.
yeah, he's been he's been doing most of the work.
Okay.
Okay, first I have another question about your guys' stupid group. So, about the mechanical rights stuff, you guys aren't very peaceful? I don't think that's a good idea for your mechanical rights group.
Now,
Carrying guns?
here's the issue with that. While the majority is legit, somewhat, mostly, kind of, the rest of it is a bounty hunter gang.
You could have just started with that. That would make more sense than this stupid mockery.
What?
If you lied about this to us, how can we make sure you're genuine about this?
You guys trust me, right?
I do. I don't trust them.
Well, you don't have to. You trust me, and I trust Jaws.
But I don't trust Jaws.
That's why we gotta go meet him. And you know what that means?
I feel like because Buck is the leader, he has the call on this one.
Well, what do you say? We could use the administration as the official organization, and you could get our backing and troops, and you could also have the Black Eagles join us underneath this. See, because nobody's really super knowledgeable about the fact that the administration is, like, the evil parts. Well, not evil, but terrorists. Let me put it this way. We use the administration of the Alket as the face, who you guys are representing, and slowly we get the people to get on the administration side, and then at some point during the run, we reveal that we're, ta-da, the Black Eagles. And once we get that backing and we get people respecting us, and then we admit that we're the Black Eagles, then people will be like, oh, the Black Eagles aren't so bad.
I don't know. I think people will be like, oh, they lied to us.
No. Listen, it's all gonna be great. Listen, Jaws' gang will provide the money and the firepower. You guys will provide the military force, and the administration will provide the face. It's a very simple arrangement.
Here, can we meet Jaws before we make a decision?
Yes, that is perfectly okay. Jaws is a very open man to all humans and robots. Just the rest of them are kind of
Fucking hate your guts.
that one. Most people who have cybernetic implementations kind of get treated like garbage in comparison to the rest of the humans.
Ha, that's a funny way of putting it.
See what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't even know what to call it. What was that planet we went on and I just got, like, insulted by everyone and this weird French dude? I don't
Dude,
even...
Dude, whoever would have beat up that French dude, that was really fun.
I'm not even gonna begin to know I know what you're talking about.
Dude, we beat
That-
up this French guy because he was a racist.
Okay. So,
But that's a different story.
also, what this will do is it will get humans on the good side of Jaws' gang. There's that too.
But are they good?
Who?
Josh's gang.
Do you guys know someone named Skittles? Because he seems like he would really love your gang.
Cash, you know for a fact who Skittles is. He is the main supplier of all of your weaponry, and he is an extremely racist against humans robot.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy.
Dude, I met that guy.
Very
once.
entertaining.
Yeah, we all love Skittles. I love him. But, so, proposition, TLDR, administration's the face, Black Eagles are the manpower, and Cash's gang is the firepower. And we'll all come together under the guise of being the administration, but we'll actually be the Black Eagles. And we're gonna fight this thing, and we're gonna overthrow the entirety of the IUP.
I would like to meet Jaws first, but again, this isn't really my call.
I'd like to meet Jaws first, and I'd like
We
to
should
discuss with
meet
the other
Jaws
people.
first before deciding.
Well, I
Alright.
think we're all in agreement then, meeting Jaws first.
I hope you guys are ready for the Technicolored Odyssey.
Jazz hands?
Yes, lots of jazz hands. Hi, this is Andrew with the Onyx podcast. So this is episode 1, and we just wanted to say thank you to Chicken Beats for providing the intro and outro song. We wanted to thank Filmora for letting us use their product, using the bass editing software. I believe it's just the first level of it. I'm not too sure. Thank you to all the people who are in the episode today. Iolite, Lock Twain, Buck, Unikite, Cash, and me, Andrew. We just wanted to say thank you to whoever's listening, because this is a new restart to this podcast, because we've been trying to get it off the ground for a while now. And we had to restart due to some issues with an old party member not wanting to be on the internet, which is fine, but we just wanted to record this quick message and say thank you to whoever's listening, and hope you enjoyed the episode, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at onyxseapod, I believe it is. And make sure to follow Chicken Beats on YouTube and on Instagram and SoundCloud. Thanks again. Have a great day.